Go for it.
Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to another game from the League of Dracula for 2024. Third person perspective this time, I'm not playing, thank goodness. I haven't got as much stress on me. I am joined by Snuffleupagus, aka Bluffaluffagus, aka fellow tournament admin, aka how many other spellings you got of your name?
Just throw in S, some Fs, and maybe an optional P.
Right,
You'll get close enough.
you get there. It's like Mississippi, right? Just write enough S's and P's, it'll be more or less right. Is
Exactly.
Is there a pronunciation difference for your name on Fear of Dracula or not? It's just the same name.
Snuffleupagus or Snuffleupagus, either or.
Snuffleupagus. There you go.
Depends on whether I have access to the actual children's show character, if that name's already taken or not.
True. So, yeah, we've got a game here between Terminus playing as Hunters and Wyrmtalon playing as Dracula. This is... What is the... Is this the... Not penultimate game, but the penultimate game of the phase, right? There are two more after this, right?
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
the. I don't know if there's a word for the third to last, but
Right.
penultimate, double penultimate.
Sure, we'll go with that. Penultimate.
Wrapping it
Um,
up.
absolutely. So yeah, goodness me, we're already halfway through the league phase, almost. It's flying by. Yep, no spoilers at all in the chat. My perspective is, I don't know when it's going live. I think I set it for maybe 11:30, so like in 20 minutes time, more or less. So if you didn't see it, you can then go and watch it after this. No spoilers. We've got Peter Wizard in the chat though. Hello, Peter Wizard. But no
Hey,
spoilers though.
Pizza was hey,
We
Strider.
we will
I
not.
definitely want to watch it.
Ah, there you go.
Here, it's a
Uh,
good one.
so yeah, well, no spoilers here, as we won't talk so much about the top of the table, apart from maybe a certain someone is doing incredibly well. I wonder who that could be. So yeah, you have to keep an eye on Sunday, when the results get posted, or maybe even earlier. Well, no, it had to be Sunday because the last game's on Sunday. But keep your eye out on the Discord, folks. We'll be organising the new phase really soon. But I think yeah, tension in this game is going to go towards the lower part of the table. I won't say the bottom because I don't think it's fair to say that. But yeah, the lower part of the table. Um, these are yeah the last game for both Terminus and Wyrmtalon. Terminus is currently sitting on 2 wins, 5 losses, and Wyrmtalon is only 1 place behind in the table on 1 win and 6 losses. Very unfortunate for Wyrmtalon because I think he did get a couple of wins, or at least yeah, he did get a couple of wins against Jill Sandwich, and then obviously Jill Sandwich isn't here anymore, so poor Wyrmtalon. He's been shafted somewhat, but he's
He
take
voluntarily gave up the win so that Mr. Green could, play for himself rather than just own Jill Sandwich's losses. So
right,
I think you've mentioned before, I've mentioned before, I just can't say enough good things about Wormtown for his sportsmanship, and
right,
Quincy too. But so the Wormtown had two,
yeah,
so
two,
I give him full
right,
credit for that. That is just the
absolutely.
best kind of attitude a person can have. I'm just such a big Wormtown fan.
Yeah, amen to that. Absolutely. And yeah, so as I say, the start of the tournament hasn't gone exceptionally well for Wyrmtalon, but especially with the 2 wins wiped off. But we've seen it in. I don't know if a lot of you were here. Maybe for the previous League of Dracula, you weren't here, Snuff, by that point. I don't think. I think you arrived a little bit after that.
No,
But yeah, Wyrmtalon, just because we organized everybody, we divvied everybody up into little groups, and yeah, Wyrmtalon new player was with Captain Gyro and Randiv and Burke Marley and Spencer Wolfhart. So yeah, quite an intimidating group. And yeah, poor Wyrmtalon, same, didn't get off to a very good start. 0-6 after the first 6 games, but then won the last 2. One against Spencer and one against Randiv. I can't remember on what sides now. And it did have quite a big bearing on the who was able to qualify out of that group, and the ordering and everything. Unfortunately for Wyrmtalon, it was more as a consolation prize. But I mean, now with this league, people like Wyrmtalon have got a chance to make a bit of a comeback, right? Because we're only halfway through the league phase, and it's all inside one league. And also the way it's going to work now is after this phase, everybody's opponents are going to be more or less based upon the people who they are next to in the table. So if you are closer towards, the bottom part of the table, then, and if things maybe, if you had some tough opponents or things haven't gone your way, you should be able to maybe try and get some more favorable fixtures that might be able to help you get into the top 12 to qualify. And then, people at the top, we're going to have a lot of games against people, between people who have got a lot of wins under their belts. That's also very, very exciting. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of things going on all around the table. There won't be so many meaningless matches now. So I think it'll be more fun for everybody involved.
Yep, I love it. And this game will choose some of the groupings. I think this game will matter for both players' groupings. So it's exciting to see how it all shakes out.
Absolutely, yeah. We're trying to work.
I need to.
Oh,
Sorry. I
No,
need to duck out for about 2 seconds, but while I'm here, I want to say hi, Gio, and Pizza Wizard. Thanks for the well wishes about the storms. Everything's okay here. I'm good. Husband's good. House is good. We're all fantastic. Power's back. Good to go. Excited for a weekend full of Fury Dracula. So thank you for the well wishes. I'm doing great.
Good to hear.
I will be right back.
Not a problem. No match is meaningless. No, absolutely not. I think maybe in previous tournaments, just because of the way the games were divvied up, it is possible there might be some games that were meaningless, or maybe meaningless for one of the players. Whereas now, I think probably the vast, 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 vast majority of the games are going to be meaningful for both players, right? It'll only be towards the very, very end of the League Phase 4, when maybe some people who know mathematically they're not able to qualify. But still, they'll be able to, play people around them, gain experience, get some wins, right, to finish off the tournament on a positive note. So I think it keeps, interest, it doesn't matter if you're watching, a match, between people who are doing well towards the top, people in the middle who are maybe trying to fight to try and get into that top 4 position or trying to hold their position in mid-table, or the people at the bottom who are then trying to, get more wins and, sneak into that top 12. I think that all the matches will be exciting. And also, we can all learn from it regardless, right? So, the games have been exceptionally high quality. I mean, I say this every tournament. I feel like the standard and just the enjoyment and the entertainment just gets better and better and better. It's maybe a bit cliched at this point to say it, but anyway. So we've got.
Yep, I'm back and I agree.
Good. Kind of, you got food coming. What's on the menu for Snuff tonight?
There's just it's been kind of a long day, and there's an Indian place near me that has just really good saag. The spinach with chickpeas and chicken, so I went for that.
Oh, you're speaking my language, Snuff. You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
surprising. But yeah, there's one place I just really like.
A lamb saag is my go-to. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Actually, I need to duck out 1 more second. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. Hola, campagne. ¿Qué tal? Yeah, good to see everybody in the chat. Feel free to put in your predictions already where you think Dracula is, because obviously now newspaper reports is a thing that can happen. So you want to get your predictions in? Go for it. Where do you think Dracula is? We've got Terminus doing Scotswold start. I think Wyrmtalon's been... I don't know, actually. I've seen some games of Wyrmtalon in the east, but maybe might mix it up this time. We've seen a lot of lair strategy stuff happening. But then I don't know if Wyrmtalon will necessarily want to do that, or maybe the game will not play out in a way that he, wants to do that. It's we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Hope you're having a good Friday. Germania. Okay. Well, there's a Hide Scout, so maybe there was a Hide Scout earlier, but it was Varna and Constanta, right? So it's not Black Sea Coast. Germania, very possible. Have you seen? Yeah, maybe. Oh, never mind.
Wow.
Never
Terminus
mind.
sniped him. Well played. We've seen. I'm trying to remember Wyrmtalon. If his win was a Dracula or was Hunters. I think it was a Drac. I think both players are looking for their first Hunter. Or no, I'm sorry. I think Terminus is looking for his first Hunter win.
I was actually going to ask. I mean, that probably makes sense. I know Terminus beat Hero 1 as Dracula, and then
his win versus Wyrmtalon was as Dracula as well.
Ah, okay. So Wyrmtalon's trying to get revenge now. Okay. Ooh, A knife being discarded on Mina, nonetheless.
So
Whoa.
we know, have to imagine the east side of the map here is stacked.
Right.
They might want to
Maybe
try to force an early combat.
maybe she has 2 knives already. Yeah. Ooh.
Perhaps even Amsterdam, Italy to start.
Nah,
Well said, Pizza Wizard. That's funny.
Amsterdam is exclusively Pizza Wizard's domain. Okay, we might get Werecraft joining us soon. That'll be good. Good to see Werecraft jumping in and watching more games. If anyone doesn't know, a lot of people might not know who Werecraft is. Werecraft is another older member of the community. He joined about a month before me, I think. But back in the day when Scottsdale didn't know what he was doing, right? I lost 2 Dracula games in a row to Mr. Green, and then Werecraft was like, "Oh, come on, I'll hold your hand. We'll play Hunters. We'll team up against Mr. Green." And then we won. So he taught me everything that I know, more or less. I mean, I learned a lot from Quincy too, and just playing myself. But yeah, it was good to get that really early experience of getting a 2-on-1 on the go, and then a lot of his mentality really sort of rubbed off on me in terms of how to think about Hunters. So yeah, he's doesn't play as much now. He was in the league last year. Didn't make the final league, unfortunately. But no, he's very, at least to be, very valued member of the community, even if he's not playing as much as he used to.
So there's what I love about Warcraft. I haven't played him much, but he's kind of like a new player. He's like the I don't know Pied Piper of new players, bringing them to the Discord.
Right,
I've seen because like including me, right? He'll just look and see if anyone's sitting there in multiplayer in the app, and like me, play them, and then say, hey, you should really join the Discord. And he did that for me, and it's the reason I joined the Discord. But
there you
I've
go.
seen him do that in other games I'm playing. If I'm playing and somebody hops in that he doesn't recognize, he's always the first to say, "Hey, you know, Bob the Builder 315 or whatever. Like, have you heard of Discord? You want to join the Discord?" And a lot of people will join that way. So
Right,
he's like a huge help in how proactive he is about that in growing the community and bringing folks in and introducing people to something that they may wind up loving. So I
right,
uh, I love that practice of his.
absolutely.
Really helps the group out a lot.
I don't know, maybe so much now, but was willing to play, find new players in Discord and like privately be willing to like, organize a game with them if they weren't able to get, because especially back in the day, there weren't many people playing. So if you join the community, you might ask for a game, maybe for a couple of days, then suddenly realize, there's nobody here, I'll leave. Uh, but he's really good at trying to then, catch you and then be like, oh, we can we can in advance, find a game time that will work to guarantee it for you. Um, yeah, he's very good that way. So he's a wizard. Says that Warcraft's a cool guy. Absolutely. We've had many a battle.
Hmm.
Very, very good player. Anyway, so we know it's Rome. So that's the first location. So it looks like, unless there's a hide involved, Dracula must be going into the center of the map.
I think that's what I would presume. Although if he's going the other way, that would be super interesting. But I have
Hmm.
to imagine he's going northward.
It's scary though, because as you said, if this eastern side of the board is very well equipped, if Mina's discarding knives, you know they got good stuff, unless Terminus is doing something, maybe holding a stake because it's a vampire or something.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
you
don't know
know
if I want
how
to be
I
running into
know.
that lot.
You know how I know Strider isn't back yet because he hasn't brought up the fact that he beat me in like 1 week in New Blood when I did that strat. And he like
Uh,
landed 2 hunters in Genoa, killed me in one combat, and he was like, "Woo, achievement" or something like that. In one of my early New Blood games. So Strider said be right back a while ago, and I know he's not back yet because he would definitely get to that
yeah.
reference before I do. Well deserved achievement. He definitely played that correctly, and that is a lesson I have learned. You got to be real careful about these Italy starts.
Right. I guess the thing is that you're funneled in such a narrow channel into the center of the map. Oh, well then,
Hmm.
that confirms our suspicions. And he hid in Florence.
Oof.
Interesting.
Well,
Don't worry,
Yeah,
Peter.
it's
I don't think it's a genuine achievement. Strider will invent achievements for himself. I think
I
that's
think
actually
it is.
that record's being beaten though.
I think it is a Steam achievement to like win in a week as hunters and win a week as Drac. I think there's one for each side.
Oh, okay. So maybe that. Oh, so it was within the week.
Yes, I think he won within the week.
Brutal.
Maybe it might have been a little later, but I'm pretty sure he said at the end he got an achievement for it.
Well, I know the quickest victory we've had in this tournament, at least because it'd never be well, almost impossible as a Dracula player, but as a hunter player, the quickest we've seen was Monday of week 2,
Yeah.
which is pretty wild. This is even more dangerous given the fact Wyrmtalon hid in Florence.
Yeah, so that now you've just removed the universe of spaces you could be in from, you know,
Right.
5 to 2.
Yep. Because then Peter was saying, get to Marseille as fast as possible, because even if this gets discovered, you can wolf form out, and it's a very good wolf form location, is Marseille. But I mean, that could happen now, but then Seward's going to walk into you tomorrow. Ooh.
Hmm. So we have Speedy Telegraph. I didn't see if there was a trade or not. Speedy Telegraph and a stake.
But she had a horse. Didn't she have a horse a second ago?
I don't know.
I thought, when she discarded the knife, I thought she had a horse showing. Or my chat, can anybody tell me if I misread the interface? I'm sure there's a horse there. Mech King's in the chat, and no surprise, wants Wyrmtalon to win. Makes sense. She did
Oh,
have a
she
horse.
did have
Okay.
a horse.
Okay, thank you. I thought I was going mental.
Must have traded away and then
Yeah.
must have traded it to LG.
Right.
Hmm. And she had a stake and then showed a horse and then showed a stake again. So maybe these are trades to, you know, keep their item hands, there being Godalming and Mina's item hands, like evenly distributed between the good items and bad items. That's my best guess.
The thing is, Godami can
'Cause
resupply
otherwise,
much more easily, though. That's the thing. But maybe if you want him charging into danger, then you probably want him charging into danger, not her, but he can supply easier. Oh. Okay, that's no real
okay.
surprise. A wolf form from Genoa isn't very strong, especially when Seward's sitting right there. Could he be in No. Is there any way he could be in Zagreb? Be very
Probably.
risky.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's risky because you could have scanned, but if you're in Zagreb, that's one fewer hunter that's not near you. And certainly if you went in the other direction, you'd be in between Godalming and Seward and Mina. And now you're
Right.
here just near Mina and Godalming, so it's a little better in that regard.
Right. But imagine they're both
What about
equipped,
it?
and instead of dealing with this trail, they just jump on you 2-on-1. Already.
Yeah, yeah.
For an Lucy's
But I feel like
Revenge
it's
or
a risk
something.
either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you've been revealed that way, you kind of got to do something. If he is in Zagreb, I don't think it's the worst move.
Oh.
Especially because we know that Mina has. Oh,
Oh.
might be a trade going on.
I guess so. But now, if he has gone to Zagreb, he's left the East very open. He got 2 horses already, so... Hmm. Hmm. Thing is, Rome's quite easy to reach here, so... Maybe... Is there any way that maybe Seward drew 2 horses, and then... Why wouldn't then Godalming just meet up with Seward? That'd make more sense, surely.
Yeah, I
Dunno.
suppose for a trade, you'd want to just send one hunter with, all the items to be traded. Unless he wants to trade and scan.
Well... Yeah, double whammy.
But I mean,
Yeah,
then
that could
again,
work.
for a scan, you'd only be. I mean, the only place you could be in if you scan though is Zurich, really, unless he did a fake wolf form to Milan. Although a fake wolf form to Milan would be interesting here, because I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't expect a wolf. You wouldn't expect a scan of Italy of all places.
Very
Gda-
risky, though.
Godalming
You'd
could
be
have. Godalming could have already been given the horse. Yeah, I think. Yeah. The trade was from Mina to Godalming, and he gave her a stake in return. Unless it was a stake that she already had and she revealed it. So then she's got
would be
like
that
a
because she
double
did
weapon,
reveal.
maybe.
Right, she did reveal a stake before having the horse, so I'm not sure.
Maybe they traded it back then. Okay. Well,
Hmm. So let's see. Just considering an event trade here.
I guess so.
Posing on the mainland already. Good.
Mm-hmm. Did he use
I
excellent
guess once
weather
you
for
found the
that?
trail,
No, he didn't use excellent weather.
so general comment, Terminus has been studying this game, doing all these kind of post-game talks about his play and stuff. He's been very interested, and oh, okay, so we did see a scan. Not a
Yeah.
huge surprise, but now we know that he is in Munich, Nuremberg, or Zagreb, or Marseille.
Right, and Seward jumped all the way over him. But as Peter was pointing out, Marseille's probably going to get checked tomorrow because it's so easy for Van Helsing just to rail down here.
Oh, that would make so much sense, yeah. I might be tempted to have, have Mina and Godalming meet up in Vienna and then scan Austria-Hungary. Although maybe that's not needed because you could just horse to Zagreb and get the same effect.
Mina can't get there though. Oh, well, yeah. Godalming could rail. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. One person could horse, or the two of them rail up to Vienna. Probably more
Right.
likely that Godalming just checks.
He can check
Just
Zagreb, and then maybe Seward can check
the
Munich.
oh, I guess the trail is also a thing that has to happen. So I guess if Sue just deals with
That's
the
true.
trail, oh, he has a knife.
He always
Interesting.
has a knife. They all have knives.
All of them, even though there's only 3 in the deck, they all of them have knives.
No, it's my little joke that I told with Roscoe that there's a line from Lion in Winter that the knife situation reminds me of because everyone likes having knives.
Oh, I don't know
You ever
the
see the Lion in
reference.
Winter?
Afraid not.
It's a
Sorry.
old Captain Hepburn movie about Eleanor of Aquitaine and Henry the Fifth. Um, and they're just a lot of political machinations with their children, but who's going to inherit the kingdom and stuff. And there's a point at which one of the sons, like John pulls out a knife against Richard the Lionhearted, or no, Richard pulls it against John, and John's like, "Oh, he's got a knife," and Eleanor of Aquitaine, played by Hepburn, says, "Of course he has a knife. We all have knives." Uh, no, of course he has a knife. He always has a knife. We all have lives. It's 1183, and we're barbarians. Just a great line, really, really classic. They all have knives. Very well delivered. She gives a great monologue after that.
I'll make that into a
All right,
meme
let's see
somehow.
what's yeah. Yeah, the only trick is that it's like 4 different lines to get to the punchline. There's a way to do it effectively with Katharine Hepburn there. It's a great line.
Oh,
Discarding a host. Hmm.
whoa.
What does she have? What could Mina possibly have?
I mean, clearly like stakes, which is fine. It doesn't want to reveal a combat item, but maybe she has a double knife. Oh no, one got discarded, right? So she can't have double knife. Does she have knife heavenly host? And what else could she have then? Unless she just picked up a horse now.
Yeah, I suppose if she had knife, heavenly host, and then picked up a horse, but then I might be tempted to give her the stake.
Yeah, I would too. But then, I guess now, especially since Seward Stake's gone, there's a stake in the discard, I think. Yeah, so you'll be down 3 stakes already. She could have drawn all 3 knives, says Pizza Wizard. I mean, I've actually discarded one earlier, maybe. And then gave one to Kadalmi? Well, I mean...
Or maybe she just already had multiple stakes and didn't want to keep them
Yeah,
all. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the items are a funny thing. You'd think they'd all get distributed nicely, but there's just as much chance that you end up with a horrible combination, which ends up with strong stuff being discarded off one hunter, and then other hunters just running around with dogs and bullets, but no guns to fire the bullets out of. It's an absolute then shit show. Yeah, I think you're right in what you're saying. Terminus is a very studious player. And it's really good to see that sort of, coming to fruition, getting a couple wins already, despite being a newer player. Yeah, has been talking to me quite a bit as well about the game. Is this a good move to go down to Florence like this?
Okay.
I mean, Seward's
Yeah,
nice.
I don't like that. I feel like you don't need that many hunters to clear the trail at this point.
Hmm.
You could send one to clear, and then
Ooh,
I guess.
well,
Oh,
oh, I wouldn't have ambushed there.
maybe
I
he
know,
was thinking, okay, I need like, what if it's a bats or a saboteur or something that would prevent me from hitting the vamp?
right, but you got Mina there,
Or no.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Presume you could just use Seward and Mina.
Yeah, and Gadami could have horsed to Zagreb or Nuremberg or. And I wouldn't have also ambushed here because then this kind of signals to Mina, oh, you got your stake, come here and stake it. He might even have to get away with it if Gadami doesn't have it. It means Gadami could have a stake, but he could have baited Gadami into a bad night fight here. I know you're not getting the reckless, ambush fang points, but he's got a knife. You might not get one. So I would have, yeah, probably not ambushed, to be honest. If this vampire dies now, that's a massive waste. Knife? Well played,
There you
Terminus.
go.
Well played.
Gotta love the knife,
That's a good combo.
and that's why we all have knives.
Exactly. And now that vampire was
Okay.
useless, relatively speaking.
Well, now
Uh,
Mina can go search something else
well,
if
exactly,
she's
right?
inclined.
Exactly. She
Yep.
can search. She can supply again if she so wishes. She's free to do what she wants. I know it wasn't a rumored vamp, so it could have been worse. But I think Wyrmtalon could have potentially been in a bad night fight then. And if that matures, Wolfform comes back, and then suddenly they're scrambling trying to find this Wolfform location. So that's really well
And
played there by Terminus. I didn't like the move necessarily of Godalming going there, but then the combat worked. So it's worth it then.
yep, ends up being worth it. And if it was a night fight, I mean, breaking some weapons at this point, given that there's already a knife in the discard, be
Mm-hmm.
pretty helpful, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And not this, you wouldn't necessarily have had a knife fight; you might have just gotten staked. But I will say it's not like an obvious choice that Wormtalon should have night fought. There's some risk in that,
Yeah, of course
you
there is.
know.
Of course there is.
Um, you'd be giving up, as you said, a potential ambush fang, some potential damage if there is a stake. So I don't want to like ding Wormtown too much because he might have been right to ambush for all we know if Kodama has a stake.
Right.
Um,
Right. But then, I guess it depends on, yeah. If he does have a stake, then Gadami's then going to be running around after Dracula, maybe be tempted not to resupply to get rid of that stake. And then if he suddenly jumps on Dracula, he's only got one combat item. Maybe you do want hunters to hold on to stakes if you put down other things in their way. I think I've been of the opinion for quite a while that Draculas should not be so eager to ambush with vampires. because I think you can bait hunters into really bad situations with them, and I think we see it a little bit with the game that we had between Geo and Marley earlier, and we can find countless examples, especially if we're playing against a slightly newer player who then might not be able to navigate that night combat maybe as well as maybe someone like a Pizza Wizard would, for an example, right? Things are getting broken. A hunter then dies, and then the thing matures on top of it. So then suddenly, then the game accelerates much further beyond the hunter's control. If it was, I'm not saying Gadami's going to die because he's got 11 health, but still, break a weapon, beat him up quite a bit. So then suddenly, then Huns are like, oh, do I now keep Suid back to keep healing Gadami? Gadami's going to have to go and resupply, but then he's not dealing with Trail or Dracula's location or whatever. So I agree. I mean, I think it's, as you said and Peter Wizard said, I think it's, especially when Reckless Vampires can get points. It's easy not to. It's very difficult not to ambush there. But I think based upon what Gadami had revealed, and also the fact that Mina's got a stake revealed, I would have tried to maybe bait a potential night fight out there, where then none of the hunters could respond. Okay, that's a good move. Checking my
Yeah, like that.
Like that a lot.
Zagreb or Nuremberg. We're going to find out very soon.
Right.
Although maybe they're going to stay in Scamp.
Yeah, that'd be decent. Gives Mina a chance to also supply again. She does have a horse, by the way. Greed is strong, absolutely. We've seen it in previous games of this tournament. Greed can be Dracula's downfall. Not so much here because we're not talking about Dracula's location. We're talking about we're just talking about a Reckless Vampire, which is only going to be 4 points if it matured. But you never know, right? You never know. Yeah, Greed is feed. Greed. There's Strider coming back. Greed at Cagliari. We knew that was coming.
So this is probably not what's happening, but one thing that would be interesting to me here, like, what if the trail is Nuremberg, then Prague? They scan, thinking it is, that would reveal whether Drac went north or not, and then they go check Zagreb and Vienna. Oh, we already misdirected. I'm sorry, we already misdirected Nuremberg or Zagreb. That's a good misdirect on Wyrmtalon's part.
No. The Nuremberg would be the wolf form. It's the space after.
Oh,
if it were Nuremberg. If it's Zagreb, there's the space after Zagreb. Which...
So we really got to check this. Oh, okay, there we go.
Found him.
In Germania. So I assume the trail started in Nuremberg.
Right, although... it has to be Nuremberg, because the scan ruled out Zurich, so he didn't go in that way. So...
Could have been, but it could have been Zagreb, Vienna, Prague,
right,
Berlin,
right.
technically. Probably isn't that, but if I'm the Hunters, I'm going Nuremberg next.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. The good thing is you got 2 Hunters adjacent, so if one checks Nuremberg and it's not there, then you might suddenly realize, oh wait, there's something sneaky going on, the other one can backtrack. You got an extra day, right? It's not going to mature today. Yes, I remember CAG. Straight.
Looks like Horse Economy not fully set yet.
No,
oh,
that's
a
okay.
bummer. There's last. Yeah, no judgment. I'm just griping about it because you always hate when you have that last yellow one you're trying to get.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was gonna give a recap to Strider, but he was doing it. Rega's got killed and ambushed. Yep. Makes sense, to be honest. It started in Rome. Dracula's wolf form from Venice, so we're trying to rule out if it's... actually, Suid's move there actually doesn't help, because that could be the misdirect location, so that move actually didn't help. Oh, that's helpful. That means, because it could be going up... It was Nuremberg. Nice. It could be the way that you were saying. It could be Nuremberg heading up towards Hamburg. It could also be trying to be sneaky, and is now maybe in Strasbourg, thinking, oh, they're never going to check Gallia. They're checking Germany, they'll all jump past me. Or even Brussels. But that's not possible. So Brussels and Strasbourg have been ruled out. So
that evil presence, like, rules out a ton of spaces.
especially since Godalming moved up like that.
So I guess there's probably a very limited universe of possibilities here. Nuremberg.
North Sea coast, unless he's trying to be sneaky, he's now in Prague, but then now suddenly Seward's blocking his way. Which is risky. You could hide now and hope that Dracula, Seward jumps over you.
It feels like it almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I guess well, yeah, so Berlin, Hamburg, or Amsterdam.
Bodyguards. That's okay, she's got a weapon. Yep. So prioritize stake over Heavenly Host. That's giving you a little bit of an insight into Terminus's strategy. Labyrinth in Germany, absolutely. These you do lots of double backing nonsense. Hey, Quincy. Quincy wants Hunters to win? Maybe not.
Strider's saying it's a party, and he's right. 11 people in the chat now. Or 11 people watching, rather.
Oh, goodness, I didn't even notice. Hello, everybody.
Friday nights, right?
I know.
What's I say? Well, it'll come. I had some other point, but it'll come to me. So we got 3 very likely spaces here. Ooh.
Oh.
A dark ball.
That's bold.
Oh, I was going to say that the throwing away a Heavenly Host instead of a knight for a stake is a sign that maybe there's no consecrated ground yet. So we're learning a little bit more about Terminus's position.
I'm wondering, is this Dark Core, is it because he's actually in Prague and he needs Seward to jump over him?
Oh, you're right, because the evil presence was before that move.
Oh, was it?
You could be right.
Was it before that move?
Oh no, you're right. So no, it wouldn't be that.
Oh, it can't be Prague. It's impossible.
So maybe he's just sitting on.
Oh, so it can't be Prague.
Maybe he's sitting on a port.
Could be sitting on a port, or maybe he wants to try and get
make the trail a little longer.
Or he's trying to. If he's already hiding in Hamburg and he wants to try and obtain good cards because he knows he's going to go to sea, so he's not going to get much encounter economy.
Or if he's under fog, he doesn't want to feed yet, he'll dark call then feed.
Right, to benefit fully from the feed. Yeah.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Or it might not be hide. Maybe he went to Leipzig first.
Possibly. And he was trying to fit.
No, that has to be. Yeah, it could be that. Could be that.
Could it be?
With the misdirect.
Ah, right. Yeah, he used the misdirect to double back and create an extra. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I don't know how much benefit that misdirect was. I just feel like maturing the. If he was able to get that rumored vamp to mature, that Nuremberg thing would have been discovered. Oh, Quincy and Strider playing tonight in 2 hours from now. Ooh.
Friday Night Lights here. Playing Blood Bowl.
I will not be awake for that. I will watch it over my breakfast tomorrow morning. I assume somebody will record. Either Neutral or Strider or Quincy. Who's who?
Almost certainly.
Are you Drac, Strider? Oh? Yeah, I like that. This is putting a lot of pressure on Wyrmtalon. Because if Wyrmtalon isn't hiding, do you risk the hide now? If you mess up the fog and it gets full ward, you can have 4 hunters on you if you got a good ticket with Van Helsing. This is scary stuff.
Yeah, imagine if there's a heroic leap. I feel like this would be a good time for heroic leap.
Oh, look!
Okay. He took your advice.
Night
combat. He took your advice. Yeah.
Night
Great
combat.
time for it too,
Let's
for
go.
Dracula.
Oh yeah, it has to be. Oh yeah, Quincy has to be hunters because obviously, yeah, we talked about the reverse game, didn't we? That's right. Take a nap. No, I am going to sleep. I will sleep properly. Thank you very much. I will watch it in the morning. Of course, I remember your game. Of course, that makes sense. See, look, see, baited into a knife fight now, and you know this could get beaten up quite a bit. He's not going to be able to heal. If there is a combat tomorrow, won't be able to heal in time. I know it's Seward. He's got an extra item. He's down an item. What did he discard? Oh, the hoax. Right, the stake on the hoax. That's right. That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Okay. Claws.
I'm
Smart.
Claw. Oh,
Ooh.
ooh, that's a good trade for Wyrmtalon.
Yep.
You
That's a
take
huge
that.
win.
If he can then kill Seward, then that's the problem. Is damage on Seward doesn't stick, unfortunately, and he's just too good at healing. I wish it was nerfed slightly, but anyway, yeah, if he can beat Seward up, that'd be decent.
Yep.
Good mesmerize. Nice.
Very good mesmerize. Great combat for Wyrmtalon.
Yeah, it's going well so far. He's now
So
got
far,
the
anyway. Yep.
possibility to maybe kill Seward or just bite him at least and get a point out of it. Minion's got a stake, so this vampire's probably not maturing. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Wow.
Good strength. Very good. See, this is the power of night fights, right? Because that's now broken.
So Stewart can die now. He's very killable.
Yep, I agree with you, Pizza Wizard. Everyone's scared of turn 1 Mesmerize, so just play Claws. Yeah, because it's 4 damage. Onsua doesn't stick for long, but it's better than nothing. I probably, like, in this situation, I probably wouldn't fear Mesmerize on Seward too much. He's got more health, so he's stuck in the combat, it's not a big deal. A bite's a bite. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Is he gonna go for the kill now?
I think he is. Does Stewart have garlic? Does Drac have the other claws?
Oh, he's
Strength.
strengthing.
Oh,
Dead
wow.
vampire, but he busted a rifle and lost his heavenly host for this. I mean, the vampire
Wow.
dies. The vampire dies, right? So that's also a stake saved from Mina's perspective. But that's really good going, right? That's the power of the night fight. And
So
suddenly
I would call that riding the ship.
would you call that victory for Wyrmtalon or Terminus out of that? Nope.
Okay, well, at least we know he's still in Germania. I would say I would call that a victory for Wyrmtalon, but it's a smaller victory than it would have been if Seward died.
Right. Right.
So I would call that a yeah, definitely a victory for Wyrmtalon, but props to Terminus for seeing the way this was going and feeling out the possibilities and just and taking the kill and being willing to give it the heavenly host in that situation, because I do think it makes sense.
Right.
Risky.
Power of the night fight. Very good. If Dracula draws some good stuff, and if the hunter seems to be quite persistent to stay in the combat, playing Heavenly Host there makes sense, because if Dracula finds, you actually keep the Heavenly Host. So it's just worth going for it.
That's true.
Probably he's not going to play Claws. You have to hope he doesn't play Claws again.
You want the bite. You're fine with the bite. It's better than dying.
Oh, Dracula's going to see. Oh no, he's Wolf Foreman.
That's bizarre.
Whoa.
He was in Germania, so
I don't know if I like that.
I know that I don't like that.
Well,
but, so does that mean could he have been in? Was it possible that he was in Leipzig there?
yeah, of course. Yeah, he could have gone
Obviously, a better.
gone to Hamburg, misdirected, went back to Leipzig. Why would
Certainly a better
Yeah,
there.
wolf form to Munich. He could have even wolf formed to Prague. Oh, never mind. He wolf formed from Prague. From
Oh,
Hamburg.
wow. So that's a
He's
very limited universe of places he could be in. He could be in Amsterdam,
Yep. Or
in
Strasbourg. There's a connection to
Frankfurt.
Strasbourg. Frankfurt, Nuremberg. Oh, he gets
Ooh,
scouts.
that is a clutch hire
Whoa.
scout. Wow. You can get 200s on Dracula right now.
Holy
And a
moly.
Dracula that has already taken 4 of his own health. I don't care
Yeah.
what they're well, I do care what they're equipped with, but I feel like, ooh,
Wow.
it's Prague.
He went for the risky play. I don't know now. He might get outrun here. I mean, Terminus played that very well. He could have easily just gone, oh crap, it could be Prague. Let's move Seward into Prague, and he would have got walloped. He played that very well, just sit there and supply, because he needed to supply.
So let's see, so hmm. Now imagine if there's a chartered carriage on Mina right now. I presume you could get
Uh,
a
well, you need a
like,
charge on Van Helsing, but then Mina could roll a yellow 2 ticket, but I assume she doesn't have one because of
but
horse
if Mina could get to Vienna right now and block that path, that
Oh,
would be
right.
like what she could with a chartered carriage. That would be huge now that
Yep,
Wolform is gone.
right.
And
Absolutely.
then Helsing. I don't think Helsing has a horse, right? But if
No,
Helsing could block
don't think so.
Nuremberg, one, two, no, we couldn't do it. But if there
Sense,
was a way to block
sense of emergency would
Nuremberg,
do
or
it.
at least block Vienna, yeah. If he happened to have a sense of emergency and me to happen to have chartered carriage, that would be deadly. But even if there's just a chartered carriage, forcing Dracula to go to Nuremberg here would be huge.
Yep. One. You could
Okay.
I mean, chartered carriage to Nuremberg would work. So yeah, you could have 2 chartered carriages. But even if they don't, I mean, whoa, Dracula's in a tough spot, especially after taking the Dark Call.
Okay. We got a horse movement. Ooh, and slow horse.
Slow horse. That's unfortunate.
What are the layers? Rome, Florence, Nuremberg. Okay.
Right. I guess the only problem if... Oh.
Huh.
I mean,
Trying to
if...
deal with the trail.
Yeah. If they get enough
I
movement,
guess he has a stake.
Yeah, I guess he just wants to deal with that.
That makes
Ooh.
sense.
That'll hurt a little bit.
Good Wolf being able to hit 2 hunters.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised Dracula didn't sit on Hamburg and use feed. Maybe he was worried that all 4 of them would just jump in regardless. Oh, another vampire. Now here you ambush, because you know Mina's got a stake, right? And she's on the spot. So yeah, here ambushing makes sense, because you might just sneak a point. And you're beating Mina up. Which is a good thing.
Yep, that's a win in itself.
A lot depends here on how well Sud is able to supply. If Sud's always going to keep healing. If Sud manages to get maybe with the supply today and the one tomorrow... Oh, she escaped. Lol. If
That's a
he's
win.
yeah, it's a win for Terminus, absolutely. If he's able to get 2 good items with the supply today and the supply tomorrow, and he's up to like 5 health... Ooh, this could be really bad for Wyrmtalon, because he's got a long way to run to any sort of safety. He hasn't got wolf form, and yeah, you're right, the paths he can take are a little bit limited.
Now, if I'm the hunters, I ultimately want to get ahead of Drac. If I can't do that, it would be good to have someone going behind him trying to keep tabs on his trail, so it doesn't get so that the options remain limited. So if you had a hunter that had like an escape route, or even a heroic leap or planned ambush, I would try to just send at least one hunter, probably more than one, but at least one hunter. Well, I guess you only have Prague to deal with once Minas takes the Vamp, so just send hunters after him, you know?
Yeah, sorry. Consecrate Ground nuke is impossible. But I mean, just a CG token in Vienna And just put the other Heavenly Host, if you've got it, in Nuremberg, will cause no end of trouble. He doesn't have it, seemingly. That would cause so many issues, because then he's having to walk back into the Hunters. And doesn't even matter if they're a little bit beaten up or a little bit undersupplied. If you can get all 4 of them into the combat, I mean, doesn't matter. Are they in a state of fighting right now? Not in a 1v1, but if he's forced into them, so they don't have to do an encounter and they all freely walk in, yeah, probably. I'd say so. Maybe Dracula might aim for Venice again. Maybe. Yeah, Dracula gets away with it, but you have to take the risk sometimes. Yeah, that's right. That's kind of a good thing, because it now proves they don't have it. Obviously, that's a very risky way to test if they have it or not. But I would have played it, even if it's just the permanent CG token in Vienna. That will cause no end of trouble. Shame if you can't block Nuremberg either. That's not as good. But oh, it's a lair. Careful now. Oh.
Ooh, wow. Drax don't like that. Is there another?
Forewarned.
I think I like that play.
I like that too.
It's obviously hard to use that not on something other than a fog, but I mean, that has clear value what he did,
right.
you know?
And he just puts
more
pressure. It just puts more pressure on Wyrmtalon, right? Because it's something like, oh crap,
search?
Now...
Search?
Yeah, you have to search here. Yeah, very good.
Found Vienna. Well, I guess we knew that.
Right.
Sorry.
If
this was one turn forward.
Right. Bat layers are very cool. I think bats in layers are very cool. They can be very disruptive. But I think using the forewarned makes perfect sense, because now suddenly Dracula's like, oh crap, Godalming could actually jump on me if I misplay tomorrow. Good layer, but I would also say the use of forewarned is also very good. I think both players made the right decisions there. Really good play. Poor guy. Poor Wyrmtalon. He's not having the run of it at the moment. I think we're talking about it off.
Funny.
Yeah, I think we're talking about off camera, right? The ramifications of this, right? Because these two are sort of beside each other in the league right now. But if Wyrmtalon wins, that would actually change, you know, opponent. It might be 1 or 2 places up, but it would be 1 win closer to the top 12, which is really important going into the final, so the second half of the league phase. But also then would change the opponents that Wyrmtalon would get for that phase.
Yep.
And then if Terminus wins, depends on medium Buckholt's score, which is quite hard to calculate on the fly. But at least from what I can see, would be guaranteed to jump up, I think, 3 places, which is massive. Like, 1 win can just change your position by quite a few places at the moment.
Yeah, it'll determine what grouping they are and the win records of their opponents for the next phase.
Right.
And regardless who wins, it's gonna have an effect on the outcome. An effect on the groupings, rather.
Yep. I did see there's a thing when this tournament was first done, or maybe it wasn't first time, but the first time I saw it in the Wingspan community, there were people trying to think it through and going, well, are you not then... do you not have an advantage to then lose your earlier games? So you face easier opponents in the second stage, but then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage that you put pressure on yourself that you have to win all your remaining games to get into the top 12. I just prefer to just take the win, even if it means I have slightly harder opponents in the next phase, because then you have to play them anyway and try and beat them. You're beating then opponents with who are your direct competition, so it's more advantageous to you later on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the premise of this tournament, you should be trying to win all your games. I don't think there's any advantage to losing a game to try and throw it, to try and get easier opponents. I think that'd be a bit ridiculous. And even then, you might
Yeah,
you
because
might you might get your comeuppance that way, right? Oh, I'll go into the group further down to get easier opponents. You might end up losing all your games then.
or there could be someone who's really talented and just you're thinking you want to avoid being in a group with them, but he ends up in your group anyway.
Right,
You know,
right. Because other results don't go how you think they would. Yeah,
bingo. So you might just play yourself by intentionally tanking.
right.
So
So no,
not to foreshadow anything.
try to win every game, folks. I don't think you have any advantage. Losing on purpose is for losers. Well, I can't disagree with that.
I think that may be a truism.
What do you need to make the playoffs? You need to get into the top 12 out of 18. I don't know how many wins that will be. I think if you finish probably on a 50% win record, that'd probably be enough to qualify for the top 12. But I don't know how many wins you would need. But I think if you get 8 wins out of the 16, I think you'd be pretty unfortunate not to qualify, for at least for the first knockout round anyway. By throwing games you waste your time playing. Well, exactly.
That's so true.
Right.
Um,
I
and I have to imagine there's got to be some like a statistical answer to this because like when I was initially thinking, I was like, okay, the top 2/3 make it. So as long as you win, you know, at least a third of your games, you should move on. But I think that may not quite be how the math works out. Um,
Hmm. Don't know. Good question. I guess it depends. It depends. I suppose it'd be how many wins the people who do not qualify get. If you get a lot of people who are on, like, say, 0, 1, 2 wins out of the 16, I can't imagine it being that low. But then you need to probably win... I don't know. I guess it depends on how close it is between places, say, place 10 and place 18. How close is it? You might have to win quite a lot. This happens a lot in, like, football. I know it's slightly different, but, like, in football leagues and things, they always, like, predictions like, how many... Because in the European football leagues... oh, she escapes. There's relegation and promotion. So the worst teams get relegated to the league below, and the best teams from the league below come up. So there's always predictions every year. How many points do you need to stay in? And sometimes you get 40 points across a league season, and that's enough to relegate you. Then other seasons, because maybe the standard at the bottom is not as strong, maybe you only need about 30 points and you survive. So it's maybe kind of the sort of same thing. It's how many, is there a clear breakaway group? There are people who are clearly weaker at the bottom of the league? Or is it very even between, say, places 67, 18 all the way up to, say, place 10? We'll have to see.
yeah, Pizza Wizard, I'm assuming a normal distribution bell curve, but I don't know what the standard deviation is going to be. So, hence, we can't really figure out what the number would be at that 1/3 point. So, I'm not enough of a statistical whiz to figure that one out.
We'll find out, right? When the whole league
Yep,
phase is
yep.
done, we'll see how much you really needed to get through. Also, then, if you... Maybe you have to play some harder opponents, but then if you go up into the next grouping with a win, say, but then you get compensated because your medium Buchholz score, which is the tiebreaker, will naturally get higher because you're playing against better opponents. So you'll be compensated in that way. So yeah, I don't think there is any advantage to trying to throw a game so you get put into an easier group. I don't think that's not going to work out well for you.
Yeah, the win is just worth more.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you were sure that being in the higher group would mean you lose 4 and being in the lower group would mean you win 4, I guess it would be worth in that situation. But I feel like you're never going to be, splitting between the top group and the bottom group, right? It's always going to be two similarly situated groups of players,
Right.
that aren't going to be that different in records.
Right, I agree with you. If it was just a league of 6 players, then maybe you could say that. But because it's 18, all right, you're going to be put in these little groups. They shouldn't be. I mean, we're already looking at the league table, right? I'm not going to spoil the order, even though the order's not fully determined yet. But I know at the top of the table, there are a lot of people who are going to finish on really similar win-loss records. So the difference between finishing third and fourth, is it really a big difference? Well, maybe it might be, but we'll have to see how it pans out. But
Oh,
I don't think
these
so.
layers are doing some work.
So what happened there? So I think Sewer just rolled slow into Prague.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's not a layer. Forget what I said.
That's okay, but then I mean is having to give up a day action now for them to fight this. It probably make
I
rather
mean,
than
I like
well,
that.
yeah, but she's not moving. Is he in 59? He could be. If he went Budapest and then into Zagreb, that is possible. I like that he checks Sarajevo. Check the worst case one first, but then it could be Klausenburg. Could be Szeged. Did he check Munich? Sorry, chat, I didn't pay attention.
Yes,
He did check
yes, he
Munich?
did.
Okay.
Someone, I think that's where Godalming moved from.
Okay, so there's no way he backtracked into Munich now. Okay. He didn't hide along the way because hides on the trail. Okay.
See, I like this
Oh,
because Mina only has 2 items. She was not going to want to move anyway. She's going to want to supply up. But here you can kill the vamp efficiently.
right.
Um, take the day. I think it's worth it.
So I missed the
If
first
you
round
kill
of
the vamp.
combat because I toggled the map. Seward got mesmerized on his rifle, and Mina played a knife, and that went through. That's why the vampire lost 3 health.
Correct.
Let's see. Okay, Fanging. Good
Okay,
dodge.
that's a win.
Yep.
Good,
Vampire's
good
not.
Spuddy sends Terminus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good rifle. That would have. Well, yeah, the vampire would have netted a health. Oh!
Oh, we got bullets. Do you use them? I think you do. Oh, he
Oh,
doesn't use
he's
his bullets.
not.
This is a bullet with Dracula's name on it and Dracula's name only.
Whoa. That takes some balls. You say like I'm saving this for you. I'm saving this for later. No, does that hurt him? Did not get missed because there was no crucifix. Don't use Star Strider. I mean, he can now kill the vampire, right? Yeah? Yeah,
Right?
he can kill the vampire. If Mina's played knife,
Yep.
this vampire dies. Really well played by Terminus, actually, to hold the bullets. It was not necessary. Very
Yeah, I
good.
agree with that. Especially because Seward's the one that's going to be moving here.
Oh, I guess the vampire wouldn't die if a mesmerize or a strength was played on Mina, but then maybe Terminus might have just decided, oh well, then sod it, I'll just use the holy bullets now to guarantee the kills. There's no escape round 4.
Pizza was a holy bullets. Yes. Oh, the wind has left my sails. That's funny.
They'll come back later,
That's too
Pizza
funny.
Wizard. Well, maybe. We'll see. Let's see if Terminus gets another opportunity to use them. It'd be pretty gutting now if you don't use them for the rest of the game, but...
Did your former tournament partner, Pirate Joe, leave you some sails as a parting gift?
Where is Pirate Joe, by the way? Very not unlike him to not be in a tournament.
I don't know. Good question. I like this Drac play in Immortal Invitational. He's very opportunistic.
Yeah,
I want to
always been
be.
that way.
I like
Yeah.
that style.
Always been a very aggressive kind of player. But it makes it that's cool because it mixes it up. They'll get discarded. Pizza Wizard is very pessimistic. I wanted to use them against you in our game, Pizza Wizard, but it's a bit difficult when one hunter has the gun and the other one has the bullets. I couldn't get them to match up. So, I had to do what I had to do. Oh. Locked and loaded. I mean, it's week 3, by the way. Dracula's probably sweating bullets just because of the... It hasn't actually been punished as hard as before. I mean, all he needs, as you said, a good charted carriage, say a couple of days ago, would have just been in real trouble. You know, could have blocked Budapest. Ooh.
Jack is gonna.
It's not a spoiler, Strider.
Yes,
I'm telling you, I didn't use holy bullets. That's not really a spoiler. AFK for 1 minute.
So the nice thing for Terminus is that if he does fail to stop Dracula here and Dracula has to go to C, there is Rufus in play.
Right.
Dracula kind of has to keep moving to keep ahead of these hunters.
Mm-hmm.
But at 11 health, if you're sailing with Rufus from Black Sea, you're going to be in a very tough spot when you land.
Yeah, especially taking the 2 extra damage from Dark Call.
Becca's going to want to feel. He's going to want to feed if he can, but with the hunters where they are, Drac might not have the chance to do that. Since the hunters are taking the kind of the quicker route, and he's taking this longer route further inland. So Drax, I presume, unless there's been something tricky, I presume Drac is in Klausenberg or Belgrade.
He's 3 from Vienna. He could be in Belgrade, Klausenberg
Or
possibly, but
Galatz.
he would have had to take an extra sort of step. Yeah, Galatz, Bucharest. Yeah.
Fine, hunters. I want to get to the spaces that I could kind of block his path southward with.
Unless he. Hmm. Maybe he was. Is there any possibility he was hiding in Zagreb last and he's now moved to Munich?
I think that is possible. That would be very sneaky. But the problem with that is, if I'm the hunters, I want to go to Zagreb just because it's efficient. You know, I want to catch Dracula now if I can.
I guess if we're thinking that Dracula is on like the northern side of Baltica, then they're more likely to go up the north side. They might not check Zagreb for a bit. Hey, Orukamania. The game is going amazingly. It's been there's been a lot of combat, some sneaky stuff going on. Oh, there you go. There's the Zagreb check. Ruled out, no sneaky business, but now Gadami's further away from Dracula now.
Yeah, I don't like that check first, since other hunters would have done that.
He could get to Black Sea Coast next turn, then he's safe. But I said not safe from Rufus, but safe from hunters.
I will say that the downsides of the approach I'm proposing of like blocking off the path between where Dracula presumably is and the coast is a little weak because we're close to the wolf form coming off the path.
Right.
But I mean, even so, even killing the wolf form is beneficial now because if you assume he kills the wolf form then sails, you want that wolf form when you leave.
Right. That's why I was wondering about the possibility of him maybe backtracking to Munich. I know it's not possible now, but imagine then he managed to move one more space after Munich and then wolf form, and suddenly he's close to Iberia and all the hunters are still scrambling in the east, potentially. A little undersupplied. Yeah, but then Van Helsing's doing some stuff. I think maybe Van Helsing should maybe come down and focus on the trail and just let the 3 with horses just charge forward. But I think it might be... I don't know, maybe too late now. Italy is good
And I
into
think
Scots
things
will
like
start.
that. I think things like that move back to Zagreb are part of the issue. Well, I don't know. It's hard when you're trying to deal with clearing the trail and with catching up with Dracula.
Right. Right. Yeah, if only, yeah, I mean, where's Gyro when you need him? He'd be an advocate for the train. If you get a good chartered carriage, what you were saying before with Van Helsing or Mina to get ahead of Drac, this would be a different story. Oh. Okay.
Okay, not a huge surprise.
But to put him off from hiding. Yeah. Yeah, despite the, Oh, sorry, on you go.
I was gonna say, we've had a lot of vampires early. Okay, that's helpful.
Oh, it was positive. Oh, what?
Positive.
Whoa.
So that means Belgrade.
Or
I mean,
Klausenberg.
it has to be. Belgrade or Klausenberg, yep.
There's no way he would go like Klausenberg and then backtrack to Szeged, surely.
Yeah, you're right. So,
Oh!
knowing that it... Oh,
Oh! Well, we know where he is now.
I don't... That's... What do I think of that move?
Well,
I mean, he
he...
can wolf form out. I guess I kind of like it. Let's say you're there now. The risk is you could, if you have double fog, maybe put a fog in Castle Dracula, and then oh well, no, you have to wolf to Bucharest, and then go to sea. I guess it'd be different if you could wolf directly to a port, but
Right, the fact you can't. So what do you do?
ooh,
Do you wolf form instantly out of the castle, or do you take a turn to move to Galat and then wolf form to the port? Hmm. Because it's un... Oh. Oh. So he didn't...
that's gonna
Oh,
help Dracula.
he didn't go directly.
See, at
Hmm.
this point, because you're so close to Drac, I would be tempted to let the trail go. I would really hope for a non-rumored vampire here just to prevent other
Maybe.
things.
This is very risky, because suddenly, you know, imagine they block Bucharest. Well, even if they got a charge carriage to get to like Galatz or something, block that so he can't go there, so he's forced to wolf out instantly. Block Bucharest. Suddenly he's inland, and they've got horses. Hmm, that's true. The deck has reset in terms of... it's going to reset in terms of... Uh,
Oh, these
oh,
slow horse rolls are awful.
whoa. Yeah, you need to kind of camp around Dracula here. That's the issue with the castle. Even if you don't have CG here would be brutal.
Just ignore this vamp.
Yeah, for now, just ignore it. Yeah, I reckon so.
You have a chance to fight Drac to save your health.
I've done it before, even just a CG token in Bucharest is enough. Even if you don't have the other things. You can't put it in Cloudsburg, can't put it in Galat. But things that he can't wolf out through Bucharest. Which makes it incredibly restrictive where he can go. And you just camp Belgrade, make sure he doesn't get into Klausenberg, which you have to misdirect now, so... I don't know if he has it. He probably would have used it in Prague, unless Van Helsing's magically supplied it. Toggle, you want me to toggle? There you go, toggle.
If I'm Drac here, I might like giving Seward a bite. You've
Hmm.
mesmerized him. I might just go. Oh, I'm sorry. It's day combat. Forget that.
Ooh, nice punch.
Nice punch. So yeah,
What happened round one?
I definitely.
Should try to escape and is a mesmerize. Yeah, sorry, it was a mesmerize escape. No real surprise.
Okay. So that's fine. That's a fine outcome for Seward. Yeah, if I'm Mina and I get a slow horse, I would not want to have Seward delay to fight that vamp.
It's only a night
You
delay
can
though.
either.
It's not a day delay.
Oh, I guess you're right. Uh, okay, you're right. Well, I guess that would be if it's an ambush. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't search it.
This I like. This move's really good. A, it deals with trail, but also then suddenly now Van Helsing is a threat. If he's got sense of emergency or chartered carriage, he can now get into a fight.
Yeah, that's something that Dracula might not expect.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be useful, obviously, clearing Vienna or supplying because it's a big city. Or if Dracula does go to sea, Helsing is then well positioned to just rail down to Genoa and camp out there because it's really kind of the optimal
Oh,
place to camp out. Man, these slow tickets.
brutal.
I wonder if were just they're just bad draws, or maybe Terminus was intentionally keeping better tickets before because he was in Germania where the rails are more efficient.
Hmm.
I assume it's just bad draws, but it seems possible that maybe it was a strategy.
The chat. Scott's on that guy in the movie who's doing normal things while some extraordinary event occurs behind him and misses it. Building explodes. Scotswood is busy picking up a newspaper to find Dragon's location. You know, you know what I'm like? I don't know. Have any of you seen like Shaun of the Dead, like the parody of Dawn of the Dead? I'm just Shaun, just walking through the town, all the zombies and all the bins are knocked over and whatever, and he's just like, yeah, everything totally normal. Yeah, exactly. Got to get the cash out for the sandwich for the meal deal. That's a very don't know if that's a thing in the States. That's a very British phenomenon, I think. Ariel's in the chat. Hey, Ariel.
It's cheaper to pay for things in cash there. Is that the deal?
No, it's just there's a thing called he said sandwich. I said no, meal deal. It's like a thing where a lot of British people buy for lunch sandwich and like a snack and a drink, and there's like a very special price for it.
Oh,
But no,
sure.
everything's everything is top cut. Hot Fuzz. Yes, Pizza Wizard, spot on. That film is phenomenal. I love that film so much.
Hmm.
Let's drink to
Isn't
their
it?
demise. Oh. Meal deal is real in America. Sweet. Oh, there's Hot Fuzz love in the chat. I love it. We should get like a Hot Fuzz watch along one night.
So I haven't seen the movie, but I was like, isn't that the album that like the Mr. Brightside is on, the Killer song? That's Hot Fuss.
Ah, there you go.
So because the castle's not officially revealed, this could be a hide. Is that right?
Ooh, good point. This could be a hide. Right.
It's probably not. I assume it's not. I would rather go to Galatz here, but it could be.
Yeah. I would. I guess the question is, do you pull the trigger now, or do you wait? If you could get, if you roll well, and you can get all 4 hunters, or 3 hunters at least in. Maybe you go for it. Yeah, Consecrated Ground would be good, but if you have Consecrated Ground, all we hid in the
It
castle.
was a hide.
Ooh.
Wow. I think I just stay there.
Right.
Or well,
I think the thing is,
especially
though.
with Helsing. Helsing can take another Wolfform location.
Right, right. This is a real issue for Wyrmtalon. He's on 15 health, but the thing is, the hunters can surround him.
Yeah, if I'm Terminus, I send I go
Good
to Bucharest right now.
Good supply, Seward. Nice. I like it. I like it. Terminus is playing very well here.
I mean, I'm good with that so long as he can send me to the Bucharest. I want someone to be in Bucharest right now.
Right, I agree with you. Yeah. Belgrade
Or
isn't
Helsing.
Belgrade isn't so much as a risk because it's one space further away from port, right? So you got an extra
Yeah.
turn to try and catch him. And you want Dracula to be inland. Ride the steam horse.
Yeah, obviously he. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah? Oh, he's
Wolves,
ambushing.
fine.
Yeah. And he guarantees the damage in case there's a fight soon. It's not the best, but it's okay. Yeah, this is a huge issue, right? If Dracula goes to the castle, you've got to have a way of getting out
Bucharest.
quickly. Ooh. Hmm. I wonder if she rolls slow, though. This is the problem, right?
And rail
Maybe.
there.
Yeah, but
You just need a yellow one.
maybe she's holding on to 2 white ones. We don't know. She's down an item, too, so being able to supply is going to be pretty good. Oh. There you go.
I love it.
Yeah,
I feel
this
like
is
Terminus is learning from our last game. Obviously, he does not have CG here like I did, but the surround your enemy and wait him out strat.
it's very
Ugh,
strong.
my
Oh right, that was yeah. That was the that's the game where he was in the east, right? And he was in
I surrounded him in Belgrade, and he needed one more turn.
Sofia and Hyde, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right,
Now
right,
he's
right.
using the same approach to Wyrmtalon here. So Wyrmtalon can either jump on a hunter or he can wolf to Belgrade,
Right.
in which case he could be surrounded again,
Yeah.
or jumped on, or he can misdirect Sagad. Since Sagad has already been triggered, I would misdirect regardless of whether he goes there or not, but I'd probably misdirect Sagad and then wolf to Belgrade if I'm Wyrmtalon here.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, hype for Gyro in the chat. Absolutely. I mean, things like the thing he can still get out of this because if he can just fall, say he goes to Belgrade and he fogs one hunter, and then he manages to escape as he goes into combat anyway, and just uses to escape as bat. He gets his wolf
Okay, I
fall
like
back
that
as well,
misdirect.
right? He could find himself going to Belgrade, then Zagreb, and then Milan in the space of one, like 2 turns, like this turn and next turn with the escape as bat mixed in. So this is not one yet, but this is good. Like as hunters, you want a situation where Dracula is forced out, and then you have a chance of jumping on him. Dracula must have fog because he's gone through his encounter deck, unless he
So
led it.
if I'm hunters here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So you can't block all the spaces, but Klausenberg he can no longer misdirect. So if you can get the hunters, if you can get a good, actually you don't even need horse luck. Hunters right now, I guess you need horse luck to go to Sarajevo. If you can get one hunter on Sarajevo, Zaged, Sofia, and Bucharest, you can surround him again, make him dark hole, make him feed.
Mm,
Although I guess he could wait it out that way and then go back to Klausenberg
right, you gotta be
in
a
that
little bit.
scenario.
You gotta be a little bit careful here because it's not too. I mean, he has no influence points yet, right? But Dracula will activate at some point if this new vampire matures. The wolf form gets removed. Oh, he's not in. He's not in Belgrade. He's not in Zagreb. He's in Belgrade then.
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, if you can at least block off the paths to the sea,
Right.
I would have horsed with Seward, and if you roll one, go to Sagad.
Hmm.
As cutting off Sophia and
Oh,
these
wow.
horses.
Well, actually, it's not. It's not that bad, right? Because Godalming can move to Bucharest, Mina can move to Sofia, and then Van Helsing could move to, I guess, Zagreb?
Yeah, I like that. Zagreb.
And then you're surrounding, every location. So what does he do? Go to Sarajevo or he goes to Klausenberg? If he's played Fog in Belgrade, he's used up a Fog already.
Yeah, he would have had an incentive to hide with Fog in Kastrak. He has an incentive to use Fog now. Like, he's had an incentive to play Fog every time. So it's very possible Fog is not his card.
Oh, there's a Charlie Carriage on Mina.
Huh.
I mean, good earlier, but never mind. It is what it is. Ooh, this is like a game of chicken, basically. Who pounces first?
Huh.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, he can't misdirect Klausenberg. Oh, wow. Oh.
Now he is going to go to Sarajevo.
Or he dark calls or feeds.
Correct. I have to imagine that situation. If you're a Drac, going to Sarajevo means you're one away from a port. Granted, the port's almost certainly going to be covered if you're not jumped on now.
I mean, they got to be careful too, because if this Klausenberg vampire matures, wolf form comes back.
Right. I think
So,
that if you just if right now, if you can get the hunters to surround him now, force him to dark call or jump on you, the next turn you can go in and take the risk of fog. There is probably what I would do.
Ooh, yes, it's just a massive game of chicken, basically, at this point.
Because in that situation, if you can guarantee you get all 400s on him, and the only risk of failure is fog,
Right.
I mean, then at least you'll know where Drac is going,
And we know
roughly.
a forewarn's already been used, by the way, so the potential of fogging just one hunter is possible. The risk is it'll be, without speed telegraph, it'll be Gadami who moves in first. But then the screw up to that plan could be he could have a Lucy's Revenge, which then stops your ability to escape. Going
Yeah,
Sarajevo's better because he's not on the rail line, so Van Helsing can't get to him. Oh. It's difficult. Maybe Sarajevo is better, because you need a movement card with, well, you need Sense of Emergency with Van Helsing, and Seward and Gadami both have to roll well, and they haven't rolled consistently well last few
I think it goes
turns.
Sarajevo now. Hunters surround you this turn, and then next turn Hunters pounce. Track dark calls. That's the
Oh,
way I think this goes.
or uses feed instead.
Or feeds. Or feeds.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is difficult.
And there's some risks in that, but I think the risk of getting fogged in Sarajevo with all 4 hunters is a risk I'd find worth taking. Because it's only one turn you'd be out.
Rumor token isn't great, because if the vampire matures in Klausenberg, it'll wipe this rumor. But then it might make Terminus suspicious of maybe Dracula's actually has played a vampire in Belgrade, and it's a fog now in Sarajevo, but this could be a bluff. This could be a fog, and the rumor token is just there to pretend to be,
Alright, Terminus.
a nuisance. Oh, wow.
Man, another bad horse roll. Did he just take all the yellow 2s?
Well, there's 11 in the pile, so I don't think they haven't been doing efficient sort of. Maybe Thomas doesn't realize you can always just take a ticket at night, and if you don't like that ticket, you can throw it straight back into the pile. So there's no reason to be not, trying to improve your horse economy.
So now, I want to see Seward go to Zagreb. I want to see Seward and Helsing go to Zagreb. I want to see Mina go to Valona.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Where's he off to? Oh, he's pouncing
he's gonna
now.
Okay, interesting.
Oh.
I spy. Okay.
Oh, it's not a fog. It's not a fog. Oh my goodness, this is.
Oh
my goodness.
and it's forewarned.
Well, good job he did
Okay.
fog.
Well,
wow.
I kind of like it. If you had forewarned, if it was a fog, you'd stop it.
And if
so now, let's see if Helsing can get in. Does he have an event to get in?
Whoa. And it's actually quite good. If Dracula does get out of this fight, even if he doesn't escape his bat, if he... Oh, well... He can just fog anywhere he wants.
What if there's Heroic Leap?
Oh, Heroic Leap would be so good. Oh, hey a minute. Where's Mina going? Why are you rolling horses? You just move normally.
Please don't tell me you're going to try to clear the trail. Don't clear the trail.
Nope.
Okay, going in.
Oh.
I could see going in making sense or going to Valona making sense. I'm good with either approach.
But here's the thing, though. If Dracula just has to survive this combat, and he can move to Valona and put fog, and they cannot block it in any way, because they've used both forewarns.
Okay, so we have one planned ambush.
And we don't know.
On Stewart.
Do we know any of Stewart's
So Mina's very vulnerable here.
Yeah,
so Mina's... if I'm Drac, my strategy is going to be to try to bite Mina.
Or maybe just break a knife and escape his bat against it, right? Escape his bat would be huge here. He doesn't get the wolf form back, but it buys you a lot of time. Ooh, this is massive.
Huge combat, and it really could be good for either of them.
Right.
Not obvious who's going to come out on top here.
No.
Scott starts to show me the map.
There you go. I'd have maybe waited one more turn because you could have got all the hunters in
Yeah.
next turn.
Yeah, that's what I think the best approach would have been, because you could have guaranteed blocking off Felona.
Yeah, and Belgrade
You
can't be
could have blocked off
misdirected.
every place.
Yeah, Belgrade can't be misdirected because it's a wolf form, and you're surrounded on all sides. I mean, the only bad thing would be then if he chooses Van Helsing and all the others can't get in. But you could maybe have one in Sofia, one in Valona, and two in Zagreb. So you're guaranteed at least a 2-on-1 with no encounter no matter what. Good strength, I like it. Okay,
Okay.
doesn't break
Punch
any
is
weapon.
fine.
Punch is fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good play by both.
Yep. I like that. And it's smart because if Dracula was going for my mesmerize, oh, we still have the
Oh!
holy bullets.
He has the holy bullets, but he had
The
plan
ones he
ambush,
didn't
right?
use in the new vamp. Dracula got a bullet just for you. What do we say, chat?
Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
But he could have just
Oh,
switched it, right? So
I had those that hurt him in my head, but obviously yes, locked and loaded is the correct statement for bullets. Oh
yeah,
man,
you'll
silly
run
me.
out of video Strider, but also that's too much like hard work for you.
Yes, boom. I like that, Aruk.
Mm-hmm.
Boom is the right onomatopoeia. All right, let's go. What now? Do we
So if it's
have
like,
mesmerized here?
you happy,
Yeah.
Pizza Wizard? Yeah, very good. Good. Blocks the knife, makes sense. Sword could have a heavenly host, potentially could have a knife. Oh, another rifle.
Okay, another rifle.
Oh, we know all sword stuff then. He only has 2 rifles.
Maybe mesmerized sword next.
Right. The thing is, Dracula has 2 ways out of this, right? He just has to... He escapes his mist, goes to Valona, plays Fog. Then moves to Athens, plays Fog, leaves, feeds, whatever. He's very safe. Or, he tries to break Mina's knife, and then escapes as a bat. So yeah, I don't know who said it in chat. Was it Pizza Wizard saying that Dracula has a lot of health, so he's got resources to expend. Seemingly
I guess one thing.
don't have renewed vigor.
Although one thing that's important here is that Dracula can't escape his bat this turn.
No,
Mina's gonna dodge. We know that, and
Right.
Sword is double rifle, so the hunters can guaranteed prevent him from escaping his bat in round 4.
Right.
So
It's like,
Dracula knows that and maximizes his opportunity. He's still going to take some more damage,
right.
and he's got Rufus. So if he goes directly to a port, it's somewhat obvious. So he might get another fight, and he also might land in the port without enough health, so we might have to feed, which will give the hunters another opportunity.
Oh!
Escape.
I mean,
Interesting.
if they've both
I
escaped...
actually like that. I actually
well,
kind of like that.
I don't know, eh?
Because if it works, no more escape as bats.
Yeah,
I
but...
actually really like that.
he can just go Valona for free, though. I don't think that combat was worth it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I don't think that's enough.
Well, if he has fog, yeah, that's a problem. But he might not have fog. There's a lot of encounter cards in the deck.
He has to. He went through his entire deck, unless he layered them all. I doubt it.
Well, certainly if you're Dracula, if you have fog, you play it right now.
Because he could, you could go to Valona, Fog. 4 warns are gone, as Arug is saying, so there's no threat, right? You can then move to Athens for free, Fog, Feed, and Hide, could be 4th week by then. Cloudsburg matures, that's another 3 points. So now suddenly, depending on the order of actions and things, suddenly Dracula is looking at maybe 6 or even 9 points before he has to go to sea, and he'll be fairly healthy. He'll be up to 12 with the feed. He'll take 4 damage at least by Rufus Smith, but then he can land in Cagliari and then move 1 more, then move 1 more. That's him got the win. Right? Unless he put Fog in Belgrade. Which is
Or the
possible.
castle, or both.
Or the castle, right? It's possible. But I think if he decided to hold on to those fogs, That's massive.
Yeah, it's all gonna be up to like what was in Wyrmtalon's head in the castle and in Belgrade.
Right.
I don't know.
If Wyrmtalon deduced that he only had to put a spy in Sarajevo because the chance of all four hunters getting on him because the tick economy hasn't been good, that's very good deduction on his part. If he took that risk to hold the fog for now, that's very, very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Now there's no more forewarned.
Nope.
Not
Nope.
a one. They're all gone.
They're both gone. And that's the problem if you're using them on the bats. And look, I'm not complaining at Terminus. Using it to cancel the bats, I think made sense given the situation the game was in, and I think using it on the spy was not the wrong move either. I think all you have to do here is just move in as hunters and just hope he doesn't have fog. Oh, he
No
doesn't have fog.
fog.
Whoa. What is happening? Where is
He
the
must have used
fog?
in the castle in Belgrade.
Oh my good. Yeah, this might.
That's the only explanation I can think of.
This now. Well, ooh, is it though? I mean, Mina still only has one item. And Seward, we know he has 2 rifles. Maybe it might be enough, you know.
There's
Whoa.
LGF.
Is he just
Ingami has
baiting...
3 items.
Is he baiting them further and further away from Klausenberg and the castle when he starts maturing those things? Maybe he doesn't mature Klausenberg, but he matures... oh, that's 2 damage on Godalming, sorry. I love looking at the map. It's so cool. Whoa. And he picks up a couple of points from this? Ooh. Maybe he might look to try and escape his bat to say... Oh, it's so difficult when you got anti-escape his bat stuff everywhere.
You can have 3 hunters on you, even if you play it well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's so hard, because you misplay one turn and suddenly you're getting wailed on and all of your health is gone, right? So your 2 knives and 2 rifles guaranteed in this next combat. He must have used
You're
the
going to take
fogs.
5 damage, which is half his remaining health.
Fangin. Oh, and he
Man,
punched.
oh, this is bad.
Well, he gets a point at least. He's off the board, but... Ooh. Lucy's Revenge? Says Ariel. Possibly. It could... I mean, that would be really bad for Dracula. I actually think that combat actually could have gone a lot worse for Terminus in the last one. The fact he managed to get 2 extra health back... or could have gone a lot worse for Wyrmtalon, sorry. The fact he managed to get 2 health back beforehand... He could try and escape us back to Bucharest. And he'll be able to then get back into the castle again. He's not escaping
Yeah,
us
the
back
hunters
week
need to
4,
win.
though.
Hunters need to win this combat, I think.
Yeah, otherwise... Unless he gets hurt really badly and he can't go to sea very well. Mmm. Ooh. And thing is, if the vampire matures, if there is a fog in Castle Dracula, it's going into the discard pile. It's not going to go back into his hand in any way. Ooh, if he did play fogs in the castle, then that's a big misplay. In the end, it didn't work out the way he wanted it to. That's another point.
Yeah, it either helps get the win or helps the IDS. Either way, the fanging is helpful.
Right. I don't know, if 300s, it might just be enough, you know, for Terminus here. No
Yeah, if you
countdown.
play all your weapons, that's you can only block 3 damage. Five damage the first round. You got to play really, really well the second and third rounds.
Almost, it's very difficult. You can't escape his bat very early. I mean, if there's no Lucy's Revenge and there's no other planned ambush, there's always a chance, right? Oh,
Oh, good. Now we know it's Belgrade.
wow. Thanks, game.
How about that?
Whoa. I mean, you never know. If you can just break Mina's knife round 1, then suddenly she can't stop you, but it'll be round 4 that he can escape his bat.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. How does Mina?
I don't think
Does
he
Mina play the
survived
knife
4 rounds.
first or not?
Oh, that's a very good question. I have no idea. Maybe as Mina, you toggle between uh, punch and dodge until the round of escape is bat. That's another point. That's 3 points for this reckless.
Yeah, I don't know.
What a
Because if
game.
I'm Drac, I know that there's, especially if Mina punches first, I'd probably strength Mina next.
Oh, what a game. Oh,
We have
wow.
Lucy.
Okay, never mind. I think that might be Terminus' victory here. I think he made the mistake of going into Sarajevo, but I think now it's going to work.
Yeah, he's getting almost all the benefit of his going into the Sarajevo this combat.
Yeah, yeah. Terminus didn't get punished enough for it.
So Lucy's revenge is only applied if Godalming gets bitten or defeated, right?
Yeah, the bite and defeat
That
is only
effect
on
at least.
Godalming, but the escape
Yeah.
is bat. Anything, anybody.
So there's this triple weapon. I think I
Yeah.
go punch with Mina and then weapons on the other two, but I'm not sure.
I think because the fact that,
You know, maybe you do because Seward's weak.
and I think because you've got Lucy's revenge. I think maybe with Mina you do just go knife here. Or strength, good play. Oh,
Okay.
boom. That's a
Ah,
broken
tragic.
knife.
Should have punched. Yep.
Right.
That's a
But
big help for Dracula.
I don't know if it matters. I don't know if Dracula can survive long enough. Unless he's able to get fang attacks in on her. Oh! That's gonna
I
hurt.
guess that's what you can do when you have Lucy.
Yep. Oh. He doesn't survive now.
Triple punch, and if
No?
there's no
Just
fangs, you win with triple punch.
uh,
But obviously, there's other weapons.
Sword rifle, Godalming knife, and Mina punch, and that's it. He can't
Yeah.
block all of that. That's a GG. Whoa. Goodness me, where are the fogs? I guess he must have played them earlier. You'd play fog in Valone if you have it. Maybe got layered or something. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Plotting. Oh wow! And his hand is that poor. That's very unfortunate. Good game.
It's a win for Terminus,
It is indeed a
and that is
first hunter
3
win.
influence.
Mm-hmm.
Terminus's first hunter win.
And just outside the 4th week as well. No bonus IDS. Whoa.
Oh wow, very nice.
Brutal. And he had a vampire about to mature. Goodness me, how close can you be? Wow.
Yeah, if Worm could have just survived a little longer, he'd be in a great position. Um, I think Terminus timed. I think he did a good job following along and figuring out, you know, how much time he had and how to kind of control the movement and like just keeping tabs on knowing Drax's win condition and playing to prevent it. I think Terminus
Right.
did that well.
If
Only thing
we're
I would say is what we were talking about, like not going into Sarajevo with part of the hunters. I'd go with the surrounding route, but it
right.
still ended up working out for him.
Because the work, it's not like he needed to move in before wolf form came off the trail. Well, yeah. No, he was able to wait one more turn, right? Because the vampire wasn't going to mature. If he was in Sarajevo and the wolf form was going to mature, then that turn and wolf form would come back. Then absolutely you have to charge in as you got the opportunity to do so. But because he had that
For
extra
sure,
turn,
for sure.
I would have waited to get the hunters in position. So then Dracula has to move into a hunter with no encounter, and you're guaranteed at least a 2-on-1, maybe even better than that. Or he feeds or dark calls in Sarajevo, then all the hunters jump in. Obviously, if there's a fog, then you got a problem. He had the second forewarned. Goodness me. What a game.
21 days. Yeah, great game. Great game.
Absolutely. But yeah, you see,
So
Terminus
Terminus.
learned from the game against you, and I put it into good practice.
Yeah, I really like that. You could definitely see not that that's always the best strategy, but like he saw the surround the Dracula strategy and applied it, and I really like that. Certainly is a good place to do it.
So what does that mean now for Terminus? Maybe is Terminus
He's
maybe
now
12th?
he was 12th for most of this tournament. He'll probably be back there. Let me look at it real quick. So Terminus, for one thing, he is tied with Hero 1 for the newbie with the most wins. He and Hero 1 both have 3 wins.
Right. Right.
Um, and on top of that, he is going to leapfrog. He'll be either in. Oh, interesting. The the medium book alt is gonna matter here. Yeah, I think he'll go to 12th, although Quincy could pass him
Right.
if Quincy gets a win tonight.
Exactly. Right. 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 Right.
But in any case, he will be in he'll be in a higher group than he otherwise would have been.
If Quincy overtakes him, then you'll drop down into the same group as before, but he's now kind of the top player of that group rather than the bottom player of the group, if it makes sense.
Well, no, you're right. He's staying in the same group he would have been, but if Wyrmtalon had beaten him, he would have dropped down, I
Right,
suppose.
right, right, right. Oh, was
So
that?
yes, so he or Wyrmtalon would be in a higher or lower group, and just the winner determine that.
Right. Oh, I think Terminus is in chat. Hi, Terminus. Where was the fog? Good question. Haven't got a clue. We'll never know.
That's what we were wondering as well. I have to
was
assume the
I
fog
was
was
screaming
Belgrade
for
and
him,
the
Valona.
castle. Yeah.
Because basically, Terminus, if you watch this back, I think you went in one turn too early. Because if Dracula did have fog and fogged you in Valona, I don't think you're then winning this game. He would have had enough health to then feed, fog again, get potentially 3 or 6 points, plus then the vampire mature, so up to 9 before going to C if you get the timing right. And then suddenly you're on 9 influence. If you get vampire lair, it doesn't help you. And then he just, I know, lands in Cagliari, then goes to C, then lands somewhere else, and that's it. That's GG. But I don't know. Maybe he must have used fog in Belgrade. Maybe, and then use the rumor token as a bait, I suppose. Maybe in the castle? Yeah, it has to be. Where else was it? We didn't see it. Maybe it got put in a layer that we didn't see, but I doubt it. It's possible. I don't know. You'd use both full warns, so it'd be the really strong time to use fog. No, he recycled the entire encounter deck. He must have drawn them.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the castle theory. Castle in Belgrade gotta be.
Hmm. No, no, you didn't. Nobody missed the
Man,
ending Strider. God, he's such an antagonist, isn't he?
Strider's like the sassiest dude.
Oh, it's even worse. I'm in a private chat with him. He's just constantly pinging this stuff at me all day. The game between me and Pizza Wizard Strider is now on my channel, so you can go and watch it now for your game with Quincy Morris. The Case of the Missing Fog, absolutely. Sounds like a Sherlock Holmes novel. Yeah! Pizza Wizard says the exact same thing!
Great minds think alike, right? It does sound like that. Or Nancy Drew novel. Or Hardy Boys or something.
Oh, that's amazing. So there's a delay, Pizza Wizard, but when I was saying it, your comment literally at that same second popped up. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we got one more game tonight between Quincy Morris and Strider. Strider's playing as Hunters. That's in an hour's time, I believe. And then we've got one on Sunday, and that's League Phase 2 done and dusted. I don't know. I assume Quincy and Strider will, or at least one of them will call their perspective. I don't know if there'll be a neutral perspective. Is anybody in chat who's willing to volunteer a neutral perspective?
Yeah, I thought I'd be around, but I don't think I will.
That's good. You've done your duty for tonight, Snuff.
I am going to update my little admin tables real quick.
Oh, spicy. There's admin privileges. I can go and then watch you do it, and then look at the table.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah, Becky, I forgot to question it. Not question it, but I forgot to say I saw your comment earlier about my thing out of context. I don't. I must have misspoke, and I just say, "Oh, beating Mina here is a win." Out of context, that would be pretty horrific. Um.
Oh my.
So yeah. No worries, Pizza Wizard. If you need any help, just give me a shout. I can try and help out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Becky, I saw your comment too about Temekin. Hello, hello. Send my regards.
Tamakin is Matt King's fan.
Yeah, Met King fan club. He's actually
Nice.
Scotso wants more memes. I do want more memes. I love memes. I don't know if any of you realize, but like, I think I put it in the content creators like document. I don't want to hog this live stream real thing to myself. If anybody wants all of the images that have been created by everybody, I will just ping them in a Google Doc file to you or folder.
Yeah, you might have to share how to make the reel, but that'd
Oh
be
yeah,
cool.
easy enough. You need to use like scenes in OBS. And you can just set it up
Uh,
to point to a certain folder, and you just play all the things in a loop, in a random loop, or not in a random loop, and they just appear on the screen. It's like if I quickly change the screen to the outro, um, screen, that's just by me changing scenes. So I'm not focusing on League of Dracula anymore. I'm pinging it to tell it record this image instead. Yeah, Gyro is really big on the memes. Matt King's big on the memes. I love memes. I create quite a lot of them as well.
yeah, everyone loves the memes. All right,
Memes
I'm
have
just gonna
been great.
sort, and I'll be done for now. I've been so excited about this. I've been like updating the standings regularly. Um,
Can't resist. You can't resist. Even though you're like, oh, I'll do it at the end of the week. You're like, no, I wanna find out what the table looks like.
2 games left. So
Spicy.
some of the groups will be set after this game. I think right now only maybe one of the groups is set.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Okay,
The issue is
cool.
that a lot of the median Buchholz calculations are affected by so many other games, so it might skew the rankings a bit. I don't know. It might do, it might not. I guess by looking at them individually, you might be able to work out which ones you know are like that number's not changing, or it wouldn't matter one way or the other. No worries, Geordie. Thank you for watching. Most welcome.
Oh, Jordy, buddy. Um, glad you're here. I'm glad you watched. We don't have your form for your last game, so submit that if you don't mind. Sorry to shame you publicly, but while it's on my head and while you're here, I want to say it.
Geordie, you're supposed to fill in the form immediately.
When? Immediately. Oh man.
No worries, Terminus. Yeah, we saw you had real issues with the horse economy. You had free night actions. You could have tried to change the horse economy. No worries.
Yeah.
Feel free to watch back. You played very
You got
well.
to draw the horse tickets that have the that are white ones or yellow ones.
Right.
If you have free night actions, well, maybe it was not on the hunters that needed to supply or to draw tickets, but if you could draw more of those yellow tickets, those
Right.
yellow one tickets.
Because the way the game has changed is actually easier for the hunters now. It's a subtle change, but it's actually a good one. Back in the olden days, right before Immortal update, if you picked up a ticket, you had to keep that ticket unless you were exceeding your value. But you have to discard before you pick up a ticket. So if you wanted to improve horse economy, but then you suddenly drew a yellow 2, you were stuck with that yellow 2, and you made your horse economy worse. So I got into the habit a lot of the time, if I had maybe a couple of yellow 1s in there, I wouldn't actually try to improve the horse economy, because I'd rather have, say, a 25% chance of drawing a yellow 1, than increase it to, say, 30 or 35 or 40% chance. If you draw... if you draw a ticket that you don't like, you can just throw it back in the pool. Terminus saying I always draw the yellow 2 tickets at night. Okay, if you were trying to... maybe we missed because we were chatting throughout the game. Maybe we missed you doing those actions. But if you draw the yellow 2, Just throw it back in the pool. That's fine. That's the cool thing. You've now got that flexibility. But yeah, the deck was clearly not working in your favor. But that's okay. You got the win.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you played it really well.
You
You made sure when you had a bad horse roll, you moved to the next best place,
right.
and you were still ultimately able to get yourself around Dracula and
Right.
guide his movements, which was key.
And it's kind of the irony, right, that Dracula did go to the castle and managed to get all that health, but in the end it actually probably killed him because he was then stuck in this, like, sort of awkward part of the map that he had to then wolf form out of and then didn't have enough movement. If he'd just gone Bucharest, even Black Sea coast, he would be able to at least get out of the situation and then force it towards fourth week. Okay, he would be on very low health because of Rufus, but it'd be a different sort of situation rather than getting surrounded like this. That's the only problem with the castle. It's really tricky to get out of. Unless you go there
Especially when you
enough.
hide.
Right.
Especially when you hide. I didn't like the hide of the castle.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you then can't hide down the line to maybe try and juke the hunters and then slip past them. It's, yeah, but then I don't know, but then if you're missing the health, then maybe you do need to go and take the you go to the castle. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I think it depends on the timing. If you're going towards the end of the third week, then maybe that's a different matter. Maybe it's a bit too early. I don't know. Hindsight. Game's very easy in hindsight. It's a good game though. Wyrmtalon played very risky, but got away with certain things as well. There could have been a really bad consecrated ground in Prague. Didn't happen. No renewed vigor. So almost got away with it. An escape is bad. I mean, actually, in hindsight, yeah, the combat Sarajevo went well because there was no fog then to follow it up with. So not allowing the escape as bat just get out of that combat. If he was able to escape as bat from Sarajevo, that would have been pretty bad.
I will say to Wyrmtalon's credit, I don't know how risky it was. I mean, sure, the hunters could have drawn CG, but Wyrmtalon must have known that the hunters didn't have CG because there were so many opportunities before the cast to play it.
Maybe.
And most of the hunters were moving and had an incentive to move. Like the hunters, other than maybe Helsing, all had an incentive to move and not draw events.
Right.
So I don't actually mind Wyrmtalon playing as though CG was not in the hunter's possession. Like I feel like that it wasn't as risky as it might have been in a different game.
Right.
But yeah, so I actually kind of don't really ding Wyrmtalon for that. I think the one thing is I probably would have wolfed out of the castle sooner or moved to Galatz and then wolfed. It's probably the only. I think that was a bigger problem than earlier acting like no CG.
Right, but then imagine, because Godalming did go to Galatz once the hide in the cars were being played. Imagine then that the hunters had managed to get 3 or 4 hunters onto him. Then we'd be sitting going, oh, you should have hit one turn in the castle, right? But yeah, I agree. I think you need to try, because Galatz does allow you to get to the Black Sea coast, whereas the castle doesn't. You're trapped in land, and that's then when bad things start happening. But if there was no fog in the first place, then I guess it wouldn't have mattered. No, but I like the risky wolf form to Prague. I think it's one of those things where if it goes wrong, you lose. But I think if you're going to try and get out of that situation, you have to go and take the risky play and try and get away with it. And he did. So I think going to Prague was an interesting move. And it did stall the game out a lot. There was suddenly a point I was like, oh, it's third week already. The game had gone a lot longer than I thought it had, in terms of the in-game time, not real time.
Yeah, because there was always something happening.
Right.
Terminus is saying he didn't have CG, which is not a surprise, and no renewed vigor, which also is not a surprise. But it does, it does, speak to the fact that you can win without the big events. If you just control the movement and you keep tabs on where Drax's going, you know roughly where he is and where he's going, and can kind of control for it and plan for it.
Right.
And that's key.
And don't let anything really, really noteworthy to mature either.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the vampires got dealt with one way or the other. So, yeah, did exactly what you had to do to win. So, there's nothing more to say than that. And Wyrmtalon played well too. Wyrmtalon was so close. Like, if you look at the result in complete isolation, go, ooh, 12 IDS. That was quite a big defeat for Wyrmtalon. But he had a vampire that was about to mature, so that's 3 points. Maybe might have led it because there might have been something better in the castle. And then it was almost 4th week. It was on Sunday of that night. So then suddenly again, Escape is back. Then he starts getting influence points. He was really close to it. It was right on that fine line.
The difference is not having fog. Like if he just had a slightly different hand, if he happened to still have one fog, and he played it in Valona, that's a totally different outcome.
Right. Absolutely agree.
So little things can make such a big difference.
Absolutely. But then, you know, if Wyrmtalon had played Fog in Belgrade, I understand why. Because I was saying before, if you can get one hunter in the Belgrade combat, Escape is back, he had to lose his revenge, but, you know, Wyrmtalon wasn't to know that if he had to take the risk. You know, Escape is back, get the wolf form back, then it's completely worth it to do that. So yeah, if he played it in Belgrade, no shame on Wyrmtalon. It'd be, you know, because a lot of hunters would go, oh, I know where he is, let's jump all of them on now and get this over and done with, rather than waiting 1 or 2 more turns. So I don't blame Wyrmtalon. If you put,
especially a newer player.
Right.
You know?
So I'd say from I don't know if Terminus is still watching, but like it was a really sort of astute performance. Because I've seen a lot of newer players, not just in this tournament, but just in general, being very over-eager in a situation like this, going, oh, I want to jump in now. Where it could have gone really badly. So, yeah, just held off, and I think he maybe could have waited a little bit longer, but it's a very dependent on the specific situation of this game. In other games, I think you'd have more of a necessity to jump in quicker. But hey, it worked out, you got the win, and that's all you can do. It's very well played by both sides. Very good game. So, since it's past 1 AM, I'm going to stop the live stream. I'm going to go to bed, but I hope the game between Quincy and Strider is equally as enjoyable. I'm sure it will be. If anybody wants to stream it, by all means do so. Thank you, Snuff, for joining me. It's been very enjoyable.
Thanks for having me. Always fun to co-com with you.
Did you have your SAG, by the way? I didn't hear you muting yourself very much.
Oh, good. I have this janky headset that work gave me, and I almost never use it for work. I usually just use it for this. And it's got a button. I could just mute myself and then take it off. So I muted myself frequently throughout that stream.
Oh.
And the fact that you never heard it, you never heard me chewing, means I did a good job pushing the button when I need to do, not forgetting.
That's very impressive.
In some past streams when I've eaten, I've pushed the button, or it hadn't pushed it hard enough, or I'd missed it, and I could hear myself chewing. So I'm glad I've gotten my muting down pat this time.
Multi-role talent. Able to come to League of Dracula and admin and enjoy a curry.
Yeah.
So very good stuff. Very enjoyable stuff. Yeah, thank you as always, and thank you for everybody who was in the live stream, or if you're watching this back after the fact. Thank you very much, of course. Any closing words, Snuff, before we sign off for the night? Or at least I do. I'm off to bed.
Just get excited for the updated standings and the updated groupings and the second half of the Swiss style phase, and there's a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely. 4 more weeks of Fury of Dracula League action before even then the knockout starts, so there's a lot that can happen, and everyone's still in contention. So yeah, take care everybody, enjoy your weekend, enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and yeah, maybe see you later on for the game between Strider and Quincy. If not, the game between Mr. Green and Pizza Wiz on Sunday, and then we'll be in touch through the Discord in terms of new groupings and the like. So, see you next time, folks.